This is African News 24 TV, and I'm Mary Adam with the latest in politics, sports, and global affairs. First, the headlines. Police deny using This is African News 24 TV, and I'm Mary Adam with the latest in politics, sports, and global affairs. First, the headlines. Police deny using live rounds on protesters against demolition in Lagos. Hello, can you hear me? I'm saying something, I'm talking. Can you hear me? You can't. Hello. Hello.
Again.
Hello, can you hear me?
No, we can't.
No button here. Good afternoon. 24 TV. This is African News 24 TV, and I'm Mary Adam with the latest in politics, sports, and global affairs. First, the headlines. Police deny using live rounds on protesters against demolition in Lagos. Nigerian army warns personnel against illegal sale of arms and ammunition. Workers of Federal Capital Territory Administration appeals decision of Industrial Court to stop industrial action. And to the main bulletin, beginning in Lagos, where the State Police Command has denied reports that officers fired live rounds during the recent crackdown on anti-demolition protesters, insisting that only Teargas was deployed to disperse the crowd. Protesters had gathered in Ikeja, the state capital, to demonstrate against ongoing demolition in war-front and low-income communities. Witnesses claimed that gunshots were heard as police moved in, sparking panic and allegations of excessive force. The Commissioner of Police, Moshood Jimoh, during a media interaction, said police only used tear gas to disperse the crowd. Meanwhile, reactions have continued to follow demolition by the state government. While speaking with our correspondent, the residents accused the authorities of failing to provide sufficient relocation plans before carrying out the exercise. But some others say the residents should have made use of the window given to them to relocate from the area considered unsafe for living.
I believe government want the best for the citizen. So that we under, like Lagos State, for instance, now the government are trying their best. So, and I believe the citizen also should cooperate with the government, so that government will be able to do their best with the cooperation of the citizen.
So, if you look at that place where they are dragging to occupying, it comes on with water and power line. It's very dangerous. When there is massive rain, there's high storm, it can lead to massive thunder strike, and when thunder strike massively, it can lead to disaster whereby casualties can be reported out there.
When people come out to express themselves in what government is doing, whether that is right or not, government using the security men to disperse them with tear gas and all those things is not really good. You understand? So there's a place where government, maybe somebody coming to address them, that okay, you can continue to do this. It is a normal thing. It is part of people's right to protest. So but tear gassing them to disperse them is not proper.
From Lagos, the Nigerian army has issued a stern warning to its personnel against the illegal sale of arms and ammunition. The army warns that such acts constitute sabotage and will attract severe consequences. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taoreed Lagbaja, gave the warning during a meeting with senior officers in Abuja. He emphasized that the army will not tolerate any breach of discipline, particularly acts that compromise national security. Lagbaja also noted that intelligence reports have linked some cases of arms proliferation and conflict zones to military sources, describing the development as unacceptable and dangerous. Still in security, but this time in Ondo State, the State Security Network Agency, popularly known as Amotekun Corps, has denied reports of accidental discharge and gunshot injuries at its training ground in Owo. The commander, Adetunji Adeleye, was reacting to social media posts that recruits at the Owo training facility sustained injuries following an accidental discharge during a routine drill. He dismissed the claims as false, misleading, and an attempt to tarnish the image of the Corps. Away from security, workers of the Federal Capital Territory Administration under the Joint Union Action Committee has filed an appeal against the decision of the Industrial Court through its lead counsel, Femi Falana. Following the ruling, the acting head of the civil service of the FCT, Nancy Nathan, directed all workers to resume work on Wednesday. The FCT Minister Nyesom Wike equally warned that there would be consequences for any worker who refused to resume. Wike assured the workers that the FCTA was open to reasonable negotiation, adding, however, that the majority of the demands have been addressed. However, consequent on the appeal of the Industrial Court ruling, the JUAC Secretary Abdullahi Saleh in a circular told the workers that the strike continues. He urged the workers to stay at home and pray for the success of the strike, stressing that the struggle demands unity, discipline, and at the foreign exchange markets. Stay tuned. Welcome back. And in business news, the Naira has appreciated to 1,400 Naira against the United States dollar at the foreign exchange market. Data from the Nigerian foreign exchange market revealed that Naira gained 75 kobo to the 1,000. That's from the 1,400 Naira per dollar. The last time the exchange rate hit the 1,000 Naira level was in May 2024. The latest value represents the currency's strongest performance since the Central Bank of Nigeria introduced the electronic foreign exchange matching system. Meanwhile, gold matched against or ahead today, hovering just shy of $5,600, while silver vaulted past $120. Spot gold shot up 3% to $5,000 an ounce after hitting a record $5,594 earlier in the day. The metal has hit record highs for 9 straight sessions. The yellow metal jumped past the 5,000 mark for the first time on Monday and has gained more than 10% so far this week, with strong safe haven demand, firm central bank buying, and a weaker dollar all driving prices higher. Gold has already gained more than 27% this year, following a 64% jump in 2025. Spot silver was up 1.4% at $118 an ounce after hitting a record high of $120 earlier. Spot platinum climbed 2.8% to $2,770 per ounce after hitting a record high of $2,918 on Monday, while palladium rose 1.6% to $2,107. And on the foreign scene, Kyiv has announced that Russia has handed over the bodies of 1,000 Ukrainian soldiers. The soldiers reportedly died during the ongoing conflict, and the return comes as part of efforts to recover and honor those who lost their lives. Ukrainian authorities said the transfer is a solemn moment, giving families a chance to mourn and properly bury their loved ones. Officials have called for respect and dignity in handling the remains, emphasizing the human cost of the war. This development highlights the ongoing intensity of the conflict between Ukraine and Russia, even as diplomatic and military efforts continue. Ukrainian leaders have stressed the need to continue supporting troops and civilians affected by the war, while seeking ways to prevent further loss of life. And in other news, ECOWAS has officially lifted all remaining sanctions against Guinea, following the 2021 coup and the recent election of former junta leader Mamadi Doumbouya. The regional bloc had previously imposed sanctions after Doumbouya ousted President Alpha Condé, but some restrictions were eased earlier in February 2024. The full removal comes after Guinea successfully held a constitutional referendum in September and a presidential election in December. The decision means Guinea is now fully reintegrated into ECOWAS decision-making bodies and regional activities. The bloc also congratulated Doumbouya on his election, which was validated by Guinea's Supreme Court, showing him winning 86.7% of the vote. Welcome to sports. China's Football Association has issued lifetime bans to 73 people, including former national team head coach Li Ti, and sanctioned 13 top professional clubs for match fixing and corruption. Under the country's leadership, President Xi Jinping, anti-corruption crackdown has swept through Chinese football in recent years, exposing the rotten state of the professional game. Several top officials in the Chinese Football Association have been brought down, while dozens of players have been banned from match fixing and gambling. According to a CFA statement, the punishments were made after a systematic review and were needed to enforce industry discipline, purifying the football environment and maintain fair competition. Back home, and on a sad note, Super Eagles winger and AC Milan star Samuel Chukwueze has been thrown into mourning following the death of his mother, Mrs. Sarah Chukwueze, after a brief illness. Mrs. Sarah Chukwueze, mother of Nigerian international Samuel Chukwueze, passed away after a brief illness. The news was confirmed by his brother Chukwueze David, who posted emotional tributes on Instagram. Samuel Chukwueze, known for his close bond with his family, has often spoken about the pivotal role his mother played in his football journey, supporting him through challenges and sacrifices. And in entertainment, Grammy-winning Nigerian singer Burna Boy has revealed that he reconciled with late South African rapper Keenan Forbes, also known as AKA, before his death, despite their long-standing public feud. The Afro-fusion star made this known in a birthday tribute shared on Instagram in honor of AKA. Burna Boy expressed regret that the two artists never had opportunity to work together or fully carry out plans they had discussed. According to Burna Boy, the fallout stemmed from issues that were eventually resolved privately, although the reconciliation was not known to the public. The rift between the two musicians dates back to 2019, following comments allegedly linked to xenophobic attacks against Nigerians in South Africa. At the time, the disagreement sparked widespread reactions across social media and the African music industry. AKA was shot dead outside a restaurant in Durban on February 10, 2023. Investigations into his murder are still ongoing. Away from home, global rap star Nicki Minaj has openly expressed her admiration for US President Donald Trump, describing herself as his #1 fan and insisting that the public criticism of him only strengthens her support. Minaj made this statement while speaking at the Trump Accounts Summit, where she also announced her backing for the Trump Accounts Initiative, a program designed to provide trust funds for children. According to the rapper, negative opinions about Trump have never influenced her stance. Instead, she said they motivate her to support him even more. She further described Trump as a man with strong backing, adding that she believes he is divinely protected. The rapper, who appeared at the event wearing a few white coats, drew attention as Trump jokingly referenced her fashion style and held her hand while she addressed the audience.
And that's not going to change. And the hate or what people have to say, it does not affect me at all. It actually motivates me to support him more. And it's going to motivate.
And that's the much we can take at this hour. You can visit africanews24.ng for the latest updates and follow us on all our social media platforms to stay informed. I'm Mary ADIM. Good evening.